You might think you know the human body pretty well. After all, you have one of your own. But we bet we can surprise you with some of the incredible things your body is capable of. What parts of your body do you think are completely unique to you? How many different scents can you pick out? Let's find out. Here are 10 amazing facts about the human body you didn't know. One amazing fact about your body is that simply by clicking on the subscribe button, you can ensure your body gets all the incredible videos from the hub that it needs. Just in case you forget by the end of our list, go ahead and do it now. How much saliva we produce. In public, it's embarrassing when we do it, but endearing when a dog does. Of course, we're talking about drooling. Saliva is created by glands in your mouth, and it's used to help keep your mouth moist and your teeth clean. It also helps you digest the food that you're drooling over. Without saliva, we wouldn't even be able to taste our food. Your body produces saliva at a rate of 30 milliliters an hour, more when you're eating and less when you're sleeping. That's an entire wine bottle full a day. In an average lifetime, humans produce enough saliva to fill 53 bathtubs, or 2 swimming pools. So, that's one life goal. Women are colder than men. If humans are all warm-blooded, then why does it seem like women are always colder than men? Is it just a large-scale conspiracy to acquire all the world's hoodies? Turns out, there's a slightly more reasonable explanation. Women have higher core body temperatures than men, which means that since our bodies are used to being warm, we feel the cold more acutely than men. This goes double for women on birth control, as the hormones increase temperature even further. Men also have metabolisms about 23% faster than women. Your metabolism is the rate your body burns food for energy, so the faster your body is working, the warmer you feel. While our metabolisms may be slower, our bodies are better about conserving heat to essential areas. Women's bodies pull the warmth from their extremities to their internal organs, resulting in icy cold feet and hands. See? Perfectly reasonable explanations. Ladies, now's your chance. Strike now and claim all the hoodies you can get your freezing cold hands on. Unique ear shape. Fingerprint evidence is frequently used in courtroom dramas, but there could be better ways to identify people. We are born with our ears fully formed, and they're more unique than most people realize. Where fingerprints can rub off or become calloused through hard labor, ears don't have that problem, and they generally remain consistent. Ear identification is roughly the same, if not better, than facial recognition. Scientists have been developing a program to measure the biometrics of the human ear. When it comes to identifying people, it is 99.6% accurate. Since ears can be hidden, scientists hope this technology can be used to complement existing fingerprint and DNA evidence and not replace it entirely. Different kinds of sweat. Your body has 2 to 4 million sweat glands. But did you know that your body actually produces 2 different kinds of sweat? Our sweat glands start producing in reaction to certain stimuli. These include heat, hormones, emotions, or exercise. The majority of your sweat glands are eccrine glands. These are the glands to blame when you're trying to wipe your sweaty palms off on your jeans. Luckily, the sweat these glands produce, while embarrassing, is odorless. It's basically just salt and water. However, under our armpits lurk the apocrine glands. The sweat produced by these glands contains an oily substance. When this meets up with the bacteria on our skin, it produces an unpleasant odor. This is why we wear deodorant to combat the sweat on our armpits, but not on the rest of our body. Well, most of us at least. Noses are our most sensitive organ. We don't think of our noses as terribly powerful. After all, they can be fooled with a blindfold and a bottle of Febreze. But our noses are actually our most sensitive organ. Scientists at the Rockefeller University and the Howard Hughes Medical Institute set out to discover just how sensitive they are. Researchers used 128 distinct odors and combined them in different configurations. Participants in the study were presented with 3 combinations, 2 of which were identical, and 1 was unique. Participants were generally able to distinguish the difference between scents with as many as 51% of the same components. Based on the data collected, they estimate humans can distinguish approximately 1 trillion unique scents. So why is our sense of smell so underrated? Well, unless we're selecting the perfect candle, we don't actively depend on our sense of smell very often. And women have a more sensitive sense of smell than men. So next time your girlfriend says it's time to take the trash out, she's probably right. Our brains can't feel pain. When we step on a Lego, we instantly feel an incredible amount of pain. This is because our feet send a message to our brain via our spinal cord. The brain confirms that, yes, that hurt, and then we can commence with the crying and self-pity. But the brain itself is actually incapable of feeling pain. This is because the brain doesn't have any pain receptors. When you have a headache, it isn't actually your brain that's hurting. It's the protective membrane surrounding your brain. When chemicals are released from the blood vessels near the brain, this activates the pain receptors, causing headaches. If blood flow increases during this time, it can cause a migraine. This is especially useful during brain surgery. Patients remain awake, so surgeons can ensure they don't injure the speech centers of the brain. Once the brain is exposed, surgeons can work on the brain without causing any pain to the patient. Hair raising. Blondes are known for having more fun, but did you know they also have more hair? The average human has 100,000 hair follicles, each of which can produce 20 individual hairs during a lifetime. Blondes have 146,000 follicles, while redheads have the least with 86,000 follicles. Although if all that hair ends up down your drain, blondes would decidedly be having the least amount of fun. This is because unless you use fire, hair is pretty indestructible. It decays at an incredibly slow rate and is resistant to acids and corrosive chemicals. Hair cells are the second fastest growing cells, second only to intestinal cells. Although we may disagree, our bodies view hair as non-essential, so it's given low priority when it comes to allocating energy. This makes proper diet essential when it comes to maintaining your locks. Metal-dissolving stomach acid. We all know that our stomach acid, or gastric acid, helps us digest our food, but it also protects us against infections. Germs enter our bodies when we eat and breathe, and gastric acid helps prevent them from spreading elsewhere in the body. This acid is comprised of hydrochloric acid, potassium chloride, and sodium chloride. This chemical cocktail is strong enough to eat through razor blades. It's actually a combination quite similar to battery acid. But don't worry about the acid hurting your stomach. The cells in your stomach renew themselves so quickly, every 3 to 4 days, that they don't get damaged by the acid. Anyone who's had acid reflux knows the power of stomach acid in an unfit container. Acid reflux occurs when stomach acid rises into the esophagus, which isn't designed to handle it and thus is incredibly painful. You're taller in the morning. Hoping you've grown a little since you were last measured? Try measuring yourself in the morning. Our spines are made up of 33 vertebrae, which are separated by cartilage. When we sleep, our bodies replenish the fluid in our cartilage that we lost throughout the day. They stretch and relax, and thus space out the discs even further. All in all, we gain an extra ½ an inch of height every evening. During the day, gravity causes us to lose the height boost we gained. It flattens the material between our vertebrae and pushes out the fluid that we accumulated during the night. Astronauts gain about 2 inches of height in space once they are freed from the Earth's gravity. So the next time you're filling out your height on an online dating profile, feel free to put down your height as influenced by the gravity level you're most comfortable with. Back dimples. We have all seen people with dimples on their cheeks, but sometimes they lurk where you might not expect them. In the 16th century, Michelangelo coined the term dimples of Venus to describe the 2 dimples some people have on their lower backs. While naming unique body quirks is one of his lesser-known talents, that name stuck and is still used today. These dimples are much more common on women than men, but Michelangelo referred to the ones on men as dimples of Apollo. These indents are thought to be genetic and are caused by a shortened ligament stretching between the iliac spine and the skin. They allegedly improve circulation in that area of the body. Some people find them so aesthetically pleasing that they even get cosmetic surgery to get their very own dimples of Venus. So basically, all of us humans are just height-shifting beings with brains unable to feel pain, and our bodies are full of acid strong enough to dissolve metal. Sounds a lot cooler when we put it like that, right? Do a lot of the things you've experienced with your own body suddenly make sense? Tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching The Hub. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.